the goods yard. As you can see, I very nearly started working on this, but I have stopped. Couple of reasons really. I know it's going to take quite a while to do this, and if I start on this now, well, I've got other things not quite finished, they're just going to get left even longer. And in particular, I'm thinking about that tunnel portal that's caused me so many headaches over the last few weeks. So that's one reason I want to get that finished. Secondly, I do know that Charlie Bishop at Chadwick was going to be putting out a video regarding insul frog double slips and what he can do to improve them. So I thought I would just really want to wait to see what he has to say about those. I've got 4 on the layout, and touch wood, they're working fine, but if there's anything you can do to improve them, I thought I'll just wait to see what he shows really before I start looking at this side. So this week I am going to finish that tunnel portal once and for all. So let's see how I get on with that. Well, reading through everybody's wonderful feedback following the other video, it is quite clear that one of the issues is the colour of that tunnel portal. It just clashes and it draws your eyes. So one thing I will definitely do is I'm going to try and paint that into a kind of engineer's blue style. So I have been practicing. Come round here. This is one of the Scaledale double portals that I wanted the end bit off. I cut off a while ago. So I've just had a practice trying to get it into more of an engineer's blue brick colour. And I'd start to do a bit of weathering. So I think with a bit more work, I might get something that looks a bit more in keeping with the stone rock faces around that tunnel area. Then I'll just decide what to do with the middle bit. You do still get the brick effect showing through. So I think with a bit more blemishes and weathering on there, it will look better. This is the first stage of the recolouring done. I've chopped off this little corner portal because I'm going to build the brickwork, the rock face over there. That's just had one coat of Vallejo dark sea grey, just as a base. And once that's dried, we'll move on to the next step. So that tunnel portal's now had a coat of a mixture of acrylic paint. So I used these 2 cheap ones, this bright blue, put a bit of black in it, and then I also watered it down with some mucky water that I used to clean my brushes with. So that's gone on there now. I wanted it to dry patchy, which I think was starting to get that effect. You can still see the brickwork. So what I will do then is start to get the weathering powders on it, just to make it more. And I'm going to try and get some trailing sort of growth coming down over the top as well, just to disguise it even more. So after lots of umming and ahhing, I've decided to go with the shorter, just kind of a capping piece of rock. I've just put it in there, glued it in. I've just roughly put some filler in there, trying to get the contours. When it's dried, I'll pick at it with a blade, then I'll get it painted and coloured. But I am planning to put a load of overgrowth all down that front and quite a bit down the side there as well. And that area then in between the tracks, I'm going to build it all up with lots of bushes and growth. It does make the front look a bit more even now, with rock each side, but as I say, with loads of growth, some trailing shrubbery hanging down all around the sides and all along this bit here. I'm hoping it'll blend in okay. I'm just starting to try and blend that pillar in now to the existing rock face. So roughly tried to follow the contours, the kind of the veins, the strata, whatever it's called. Painted it grey. I'm going to try now blend with some of the dry brushing. I know it's not going to be a perfect match, but my plan is all that's going to be draped with hanging foliage now, just to cover it both sides, just so it looks really overgrown. It might disguise it a little bit more, and then I'll work onto that front area. It's toned the colour down. You can definitely see that seam where the join is, but I think with some clever bits of hanging weeds and what have you down there, some foliage, I think I should be able to disguise that okay. Then just the current view from the front. Obviously a lot of that's going to be covered now with various bits of greenery. I know it's not perfect, but it is better than it was. Started to get some trailing foliage on there. They're the first bits. I do want to do some from the bottom up, probably up some of those veins there, just to try and disguise the harshness. That's it from the front. I just want a bit on that top piece. I think there's too much rock exposed there, so I'll put some more on. I've just raised this centerpiece and painted it, and then I'm really going to build that up with bushes and other bits of growth. Some of the process of getting some scatters down on here, you probably saw from that time lapse, it didn't go too great. I was stood in totally the wrong angle and I couldn't control, so it all just kept splodging out. So I had to go back over and just tidy all that up. So I'm going to spray this now with some water and then get the PVA water mix solution on it just to set, just as the base, and then I can start to build up. I've started to get some bits of like clump foliage just to start to put all up here, bring it out this way, and I want some up there as well. Making some progress now. I'm starting to get this in-between piece scenic up, just using some scatters. Obviously I've got some hanging stuff coming down each side. Don't know whether to put a bit more on there yet, but it's starting to take shape now. I've just got to blend in where the static grass ends and the coarse turf starts. So a little bit of work to do there. So, can I finally call it for this area? Tick it off. Will it do? Is it enough? I have slowly been bumping up the number of trees on this hillside as and when I get some more made up. Normally I always think less is more, but I think on this occasion the more trees and bits of growth I can get on this hillside, the better. So that's it, looking onto the portal. So I think yes, I think we are done on this area now. Well, for now. I do think it looks better. There's probably more improvements still I can do, but I can tick it off. It is actually nice to get some trains running.